I'm late, but by this time, if you actually care to watch season 6 of Game of Thrones, then you would have already watched it by now. And if not, then shame.
It's Reese TV!
What up, YouTube? My name is Cheryce. Welcome to Reese TV. Glad that you're here. So, some of you have noticed that I kind of stopped reviewing Game of Thrones somewhere around episode 6. And you've wondered what are my thoughts on Game of Thrones? Well, I'm glad you asked. Season 6 of Game of Thrones was as eventful as it was boring. Now, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, and I know that some of you are saying, well, how can it be eventful and boring? Come on, Cheryce! And of course, you probably have some other opinions as well. So let me explain. The best example that I can come up with visually was in the last 6 minutes of the season finale. Dany is making her way to King's Landing, and Cersei is being crowned queen. Very eventful moments, but boring as heck, as each scene was given 3 minutes each. That is 3 minutes of Dany making her way to King's Landing, and that is 3 minutes of Cersei being crowned queen. Very eventful, but boring. Also, this season was filled with exposition. So much so that it would rival the first season. And at least the first season had the excuse of, I don't know, being the first season. I mean, without so much exposition in the first season, we wouldn't know who half of these characters were. I mean, I still struggle with all the Stark children. Let's see, there's Robb, there's Arya, there's Sansa, there's Jon Snow, there's Bran. I feel like I'm missing someone. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Let's see. Wait. Robb, Sansa, Arya, Jon Snow, Bran. Rickon! There's Rickon! There's Rickon! How could I forget Rickon? I sarcastically say. I mean, when Rickon came back on the scene, I was like, who? The Starks had another child? Man, that makeup sex though. That was like 4 times that Ned had to make up for bringing Jon Snow home. And when people were talking about Shaggy Dog, I seriously thought that they were talking about Shaggy Dog the movie. I'm like, did Disney come out with another remake? And then when I realized that they weren't talking about the movie, I seriously thought that they were using it as an adjective. You know, like to describe a noun. You know, a noun being a person, place, or thing. You're welcome for those who skipped English. And I'm like, what is the Shaggy Dog's name? And people were like, Shaggy Dog. And I was like, I know that is a Shaggy Dog, but what is the Shaggy Dog's name? And about 2 weeks later, I finally realized that Shaggy Dog was the actual name of Rickon Stark's direwolf, because he was like 3 when he got the dog and gave it that stupid name, Shaggy Dog. And don't get me started about how to say some of these people's names. Some of you have called me out for calling Ollie Oli, and I'm like, who the frack cares? Man, frack Oli. I mean, Ollie. But this season, I feel, has ended the debate that has gone on from the dawn of time. Well, at least for me, since the first Harry Potter movie. Which one is better, the book or the film? And judging from this season, it pains me to say it, but I think I have to go with the book. See, I think about it this way. Never has a film on the small screen or the big screen exceeded the book that it was based off of. Well, at least from my knowledge, and I actually Googled this. Yes, Game of Thrones did go back into the books thanks to Bran's newfound time-traveling abilities. But most of it was based off of cliff notes from George to Dan and Dave as to the direction of his unpublished book. And after that meeting, I can imagine Dan and Dave felt like they screwed themselves over after making a deal with HBO for 3 more seasons before talking to George. I'm pretty sure that if they talked to George first, they would have made a deal for only 7 seasons total, and we would have gotten 2 full seasons. Instead of the 1 filler season that we got, 2 half-a-seasons that we're going to get in the upcoming years, a hold the door complex. No, seriously, I really can't look at anybody holding the door the same way again. And the possibility of spin-offs that will start after the series finale that is rumored to be the prequel of the original series. And we all know how well that goes. And judging by the confirmation of the episodes that we're going to get in the next 2 seasons, I feel like one should be called Jamie season and the other one should be called Tyrion season. Because one is missing only part of the normal amount of episodes, and one is about half of the normal amount of episodes. You get it? You get it? I'm here till Thursday. And all I have to say is, please don't suck like Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead, you only had one job. One job. And that was just to tell me how the zombie apocalypse happened, or to tell me what happened during the time that Rick was in a coma. Instead, you ended up giving me the cliff-noted Mexican version of The Walking Dead. But that's a review for next week. But until then, take care, YouTubers, because winter is coming. No, it seriously is coming. Unless you're in Colorado, where it snows part of the year and hails the next.